Hi everyone, Crusader here, and in this video I'm bringing you a complete 1 to 70 leveling guide for Season 26. So in this video I'm going to cover the best leveling strategies so you can get to level 70 quick, and I'm also going to show you the best gear, the best things to gamble for, and how to upgrade weapons. With the quick methods you can get from 1 to 70 in just an hour or two, even as a solo player that's fairly new. So I'm going to show you the full list of things you gotta do on the screen now. I know it's a long list we gotta do, but I will of course also cover them all one by one now, and they will also be linked down in the description down below, and of course in the comments. So when the season starts, you can just have this open and just follow it step by step. So of course, the first thing we gotta do is of course make a seasonal character as soon as the season starts. And then we wanna jump in and of course do the challenge rift. I will of course also have challenge rift guides so you can get the challenge rift done easily and quickly. After that, you wanna log onto your seasonal character and then you wanna open your bounty bag. It'll be down here in the bottom left corner. I'm going to show you in just a few minutes in terms of what you should gamble for later on. Then you of course want to jump over and upgrade your Blacksmith and your Mystic both to rank 12, so the max rank. Then you want to buy blue items from the vendors. So for instance, this merchant here, try and see if you can find a few quick items you can put on. Then you want to go to your follower and take your follower weapon. This will of course depend on your class, but for most classes it is either your Scoundrel weapon or your Templar weapon. So for Demon Hunter for instance, you will of course take your follower bow here and put that on instead, and you get about double damage. And of course also hire a follower out, for instance hire the Templar here, and then I have my Scoundrel weapon and I have the Templar with me to help me along. Next thing you want to do is go and get the cube. So you would go to Act 3 and then go to the Ruins of Sescheron, and you basically just run through the entire thing until you find the cube, and I would usually do this on hard, by the way. The next thing we want to do is craft a level 70 weapon we can then extract in the cube to get a massive multiplier while leveling. I'm going to show you a list of what items you should make for each different class. But for instance, for a Demon Hunter, you would make a one-handed dagger, craft a 70 one-handed dagger, and then you would then go to the cube and then upgrade it. Of course, we'll go in and then page 3, upgrade a rare item and transmute it, and then we get an item. And you simply just put it in page 1 and then you extract it to get the power as well. This way you can level with the multiplier in your cube and get a massive damage increase from this. The next thing we want to do is craft a level 70 weapon. So still at level 1, you want to craft a level 70 weapon that you can then get reduced level requirement on, so you can put the weapon on earlier. If you get the perfect roll, you can actually equip a level 70 weapon at level 40. So the standard weapons to upgrade would be an axe, a mace, or a bow. Just make sure you don't craft a class specific weapon like a Scythe for instance, as these will also have an extra secondary, like max essence, spirit, fury. You don't want that. So of course, for the Demon Hunter here, I would craft a two-handed bow. So for instance, just craft a two-handed bow here, and I would craft maybe 2 of them at the same time. Now, there are a few things we're looking for. Another thing, for instance, for a Demon Hunter here, you can actually get max discipline as a secondary. So for instance, you can see here, 2 of these bows actually rolled at max discipline. This is not good. So for instance, if you are starting Demon Hunter, you actually want to craft the bows on a Witch Doctor, thus you don't have a chance to get at max discipline. Now, there are a few things we are looking for here. In order to get the most efficient way of crafting a weapon level 70 and then get a reduced level requirement, we want a secondary with a CC effect. This could be a chance to stun, a chance to freeze, stuff like that as a secondary. So as you can see, this secondary here has monster XP and ignores stability loss. This would not be a good weapon. You would have to just remove this. This one here, 2.2 chance to stun on hit. This would be a good weapon. Because if I show the difference really quick, this is with the bad one, right? With the monster XP and ignore stability loss. If I try and roll one of these, look at how many things I can now roll. So the chance of me hitting this reduced level requirement by 2 to 30 is really low now. So the chance of me rolling a good roll here when there's all these chance to blind or fear or whatever is really terrible. But on the other end here, with the one with chance to stun on hit, if I keep the chance to stun on hit, I have this here of course. If I then reroll the other stat, so not the chance on hit, the other stat here, monster scan more XP, as you can see, there's only a few rolls I can get now because I already have the CC effect and the other secondary. So we already cut so many possible rolls here. Now another thing here, you can also see there is life after each kill as well as a roll. You can actually remove this as well to get an even better chance to only get the reduced level requirement as a roll. So as you can see, I just made another one here and it has chance to fear on hit as a secondary, so that's good. But it also has life per hit. So by getting these 2 rolls now, there is now 1 less roll it can have. So before we also had life after each kill, that is now gone because we now have life per hit as a primary roll. So if we again look at our secondary and we keep of course the chance to fear on hit and we roll the other one, we now only have 3 possible rolls we can actually get here. This means when I start re-rolling this, there's going to be a high chance that we get a good roll. And by that I mean something like a plus 20 or even 25 plus in level requirement reduced. If I re-roll a few times here and see what we get, And we can of course just do this a few times, see if we get lucky. Now bear in mind, these can get expensive after a while. You don't have a lot of gold early on. So if you start having to reroll the same item many times, it is actually better to go and craft a new one and see if you can do it again. Because you have a good amount of materials, but you are pretty low on gold. So crafting a new one and trying to get another one with some kind of CC effect and maybe also life period again is a good way of doing it. But as you can see, I got a level requirement reduced by 20 here, so that will be fine. But you can of course try and get lucky and keep rolling or making a new one and see if we can get this higher. And as you can see already there, we got a 29. We can now equip the level 70 weapon at level 41. So this would be massive for us when we get this, and we could basically go from whatever difficulty we're on to Torment 6 straight away from equipping this. The next thing we want to do is craft two-handed weapons. So for instance, of course, again looking at Steam Hunter as example, I would craft some two-handed bows. I will craft this blue level 8 to level 12. I would basically craft all of these up until I can get my level 70 weapon equipped. I can of course equip this level at level 41. So I would craft basically all of these here up until level 40. So about 5 or so weapons total, and of course just keep those in your stash and then equip it once you hit that level. This will make sure that you have a weapon that is suitable to your level at all times, so you don't lose out on potential damage and of course speed. At this point you want to start leveling. There are 4 total ways that are good for leveling. You have Cursed Chest, you have Halls of Agony Blades, and you have normal whiffs and massacre bonus farming. Now if you're gonna do it solo, I would highly recommend doing either massacre bonus farming as I'm showing you now, or just doing regular rifts. If you're planning on doing a 4-man leveling session with your friends, you could also look into 2 things. Now be Cursed Chest leveling and Halls of Agony Blades leveling. But these can be kind of annoying and frustrating to do, and you really require some experience in order to really pull them off. But if you want to just keep it nice and chill, I'll just recommend doing regular rifts is a 4-man. Or if you're solo, you can also do massacre bonus farming or regular rifts. The next thing you want to do is when you reach level 7 and level 9, you want to go to town and you want to find the merchants called the Fence. At level 7 and 9, these will also have the option to sell you rings and amulets. And especially at level 7, if you can get your hands on some damage rings or flat damage roll on rings, that will increase your damage by a whole lot. And of course, these are in every town possible. You can just teleport around, see if you can find these vendors here, and then take them all to have the rings and amulets. The next thing we're going to look at is what to craft at level 70 the weapon to extract for, and also what to gamble for your blood shards. So for Barbarian, you want to craft two-handed mighty weapons. And the best weapons are Blade of the Tribes, Fury of the Vanished Peak, and Gavel of Judgments. All of these have a multiplier to a pretty good spell, then you can of course level with. So if you get lucky and you get one of these 3 weapons here, you can of course extract it, and then you have a really good leveling session. And in terms of what to gamble for at level 1 for Barbarian, it is Braces. You have Braces of the Destruction, which increases seismic slam damage, and you have Brace of the First Man, increasing your Hammer of the Ancient damage. So you have a really good chance of getting one of these, and these are both really good. In terms of Crusader, you want to craft a one-handed flail. You either want to get Dark Light here for increased damage to Fist of Heaven, the Gur Falcon's Footy for reduced resource cost of Blessed Shield and its damage increased, or the Duranus Argument. If you get one of these, you're good to go. And in terms of what to gamble for, you can see here you have Guard of Durana, so another multiplier for Blessed Hammer, and you also have the braces here called Gabriel's Van Braces. So in case you upgrade the weapon and you got the weapon for Blessed Hammer, you can also get the shield and the braces, which will just make it incredible. So the Duranus Argument is the best weapon to get, but the other weapons are also really good. Now for the Monk. In terms of what to craft and upgrade for your level 1 weapon, you want to go for a Daibo. Then you ideally want either Balance or Instance Torch of the Grand Temple. But Flow of Eternity can also be decent, but basically all the other ones are useless. So there are only 3 good weapons here, so it is kind of unlikely you get a good one. But the Monk makes up for it in terms of what you can gamble for. In terms of gambling, you want to go for boots. You can either get Riviera Dances or you can get the Crudus boots. If you get Crudus boots, you'll be flying through leveling experience so fast. This will be amazing, and it's one of the best leveling strategies from 1 to 70 in terms of what to gamble for. For Necromancy, you want to craft two-handed scythes, and these actually all have a use. Now the best ones by far will be the Blood-Tide Blade or the Malteus Petrified Spike, but the other 2 are also decent, so no matter what, you will get a weapon with some kind of multiplier on it. But of course the Blood-Tide Blade with the Death Nova increase is amazing for leveling. So if you get that, you are good to go. And in terms of gambling, you want to go for gloves. If you can get these gloves here increasing the damage by Corpse Explosion, this item itself here can carry from 1 to 70 in no time, no matter what 200 weapon you got. So Necromancer is really good for leveling. So the Witch Sword is pretty good for leveling overall. And there are a few things that can help with, especially in terms of the weapons. So if you either get the Barber here for increased Spirit Barrage damage, if you get the Dagger of Darts, or if you get the new reworked Spider Queen's Grasp, you will be really good to go. These will be amazing for leveling, but Witch Starter is really good for leveling anyway, in case you don't get it. And in terms of gambling, of course, if you got the Barber as well, in terms of getting Spirit Barrage damage, you also want to try and go for the Mojo called Gazing Demise here, increasing your Spirit Barrage damage by more, but only go for this if you got the Barber. If you didn't get that, then just go for Lurk's Crown and just use that for more XP gain. Just so I got a red gem onto it. But the Witch Starter is a really good solo leveler anyway, so it's not too big of a deal if you don't get it. For the Wizards, you have really good weapons and then you have pretty bad gambling. So for the Wizard, if you get the Fragment of Destiny here, increase the signature spell damage, then you get extra Hydra damage. You can also get Serpent Sparker here, also increase your Hydra damage. And you also have Unstable Scepter for increased damage of Arcane Orb, and also Wand of Roll for increased explosive blast damage. If you get one of those 4, you are good to go, and this will make the leveling a lot quicker. But in terms of gambling, there isn't something really good, so your best bet is simply just to go for the Lurk's Crown, just so you can get more XP while leveling. And then for the Demon Hunter, a really solid leveler. In terms of what to upgrade and what to extract, you only have one option, that is crafting daggers. You have Carlisle's Point and you have Lord Greenstone's Fan. So you have a weapon increasing your damage of Impale by a whole lot, and you also have the Lord Greenstone's Fan increasing the damage of Fan of Knives. So no matter what, you are guaranteed a multiplier for a pretty good spell. Now the Lord Greenstone's Fan is quite a bit better than the Carlisle's Point, but at least you are guaranteed something. For most classes, you will have a 50-50 chance of getting something useful. At least on a Demon Hunter, you are guaranteed something, but the Lord Greenstone's Fan is better. But on the other hand, in terms of gambling, there isn't something really good. Honestly, what I would do is simply just go for Wraps of Clarity, just to get another damage reduction, because it can be quite squishy early on. Especially if playing hardcore, definitely go for these. And then after that, simply just gamble for Lurk's Crown for more XP. Of course, all these combinations here in terms of what to gamble and what to craft for will be linked down below. So you can simply just follow it along step by step when the season starts. And then for the last step here, of course, when you reach level 70, go and do your season journey as quick as you can, so you can get a full 6 piece of armor. And then you want to do rifts and great rifts, of course, to get materials, blood shards, gear, and also upgrade the legendary gems and great rifts. Try and keep your great rifts under 3 minutes so you get good efficiency. Now here for season 26, you're also going to get Equine Nightmares. What I would recommend is after you have a full build set up, do a few of these early on, just get a massive boost in experience. These will most likely give you at least 100 or 200 paragons straight away. And after that, you want to save the keys until your character is more optimized, just so you can take the most effect of all of them. But a few economics early on will probably boost your paragon by a lot, and therefore also giving you a lot of damage. Also make sure to check out my season 26 playlist here, as that will contain the best guides for season 26, and hope to see you in one of those videos. Peace out, everyone.